So we are here in Better Living Now. June is Better Living Now. I love that. I think that's great. We're not postponing it. We're not putting it down the road when this happens or that happens or when I retire or when whatever. Better living right now, right now. And today's talk is living the life. Can you just feel the expansiveness of that, right? Living the life. That's what we're doing, right? Living the life. Well, that's what we want to do. Sometimes we're not doing it. But we want to. Living the life, living the life. We're all desiring to live the life, right? Living the life of Riley. Everybody heard of that expression? That's an old one. Living the life of a lotto winner. That's another one. You know, living life on Easy Street. I mean, we all have these ideas in our minds, and that's kind of what we all want. Well, it must be what we all want because there's like a bazillion books and workshops and seminars and blogs and classes everywhere that tells us how to do that, right? That enlighten us and instruct us and teach us and make us aware of how to do those things, how to be a millionaire, how to live the life of our dreams, how to get everything you want. I love that one. If you have everything you want, where are you going to put it? And then who are you going to hire to dust it? You know, I mean, think about it. 5 steps to a perfect life. 10 ways to get what you want. 7 keys to an abundant life. 3 secrets to prosperity. And on and on and on, right? You've seen all of that stuff. Everybody wants to be living the life. Remember Robin Leach and the Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous? Do we remember that? I'm going way back now. No, I can even go back farther than that. Hello, my name is Michael Anthony. Huh? Are you with me? Do you remember John Beresford Tipton Jr.? Oh, come on, the millionaire. Remember the anonymous, I'm going to give somebody $1 million and it's going to change their life or ruin their life or something. What would it be today? MTV Cribs, okay? MTV Cribs, right? We all want to be rich and famous, and we all want to see what that looks like, and we all want to get into those homes. Deal or no deal? Reality shows, TV shows, contestant shows, game shows, right? What are they for? Are they for the cash? They're for the money. Show me the money. We all want the money. We all want to live on Easy Street. We all want the money because money means abundance, and abundance means freedom and ease and safety and security. That's what we really want. That's what we really want. We want to be safe. We want to be secure. We don't want to have to worry about our well-being. You know that women control more than 66% of the wealth in this country? And yet, more than 50% of the women in this country, their number one fear is being homeless. Their number one fear, more than 50% of the women in this country's number one fear is becoming a bag lady. And you know the stereotype, right? Living on a park bench, carrying shopping bags, surrounded by stray cats. We all have this picture in our head, right? Of that bag lady. And yet, that is the picture in the head of over half of the women in this country. And it is not limited to the amount of money that women are making either. 27% of the women making over $200,000 a year have that picture in their heads. 27%. The study found that women, it's all in all categories. Single, married, divorced, doesn't matter. It is the highest for single women. 56% of single women fear being homeless. 54% of divorced women think that that's a fear. 47% of married women. So money represents safety. Money represents freedom. Money represents wholeness and security. And I'm sorry, I do not have the statistics for men and the fear of homelessness. It seems like it is not in the consciousness of men because I don't find any studies around men and the fear of homelessness. The only information I was able to gather about that was from women. For some reason, it's not in the consciousness of men, or it's not high enough in the consciousness of men to even warrant a study. Men seem to think that homelessness is a temporary inconvenience, if anything, or a mild embarrassment. So it's a different consciousness around it. I find that odd, and maybe it's healthier. I don't know. So money represents safety and security. It represents our well-beingness in the world. So we set out on a path to do that. We go to the right schools, we take the right classes, we go to the right majors. I remember when I was in school, I was a fine arts major, and my dad looked at me one day and said, "That's all great, but what are you going to do to support yourself?" And I went, I never thought of that before. And then I became a biomedical major. Okay, so things like that happen. What are you going to do to support yourself? You take the right route. You go to the right school, you take the right classes, you take the right major, you go for the path that will get us the money. And we do all those things right, and then we go out in the world and we get a career and we get a 401k and we get all that jazz and we get a pension, and then we get laid off, right? Then 2008 happened, and then what the hell happened to us? And it all goes down the drain all of a sudden. And people lost their 401ks, or they lost their stocks or their bonds or their pensions or their nest egg or their cushion. And then the house went after that, and then maybe the car went after that. The job was long gone. And then we find ourselves asking, what the hell happened to us? You know, Jim Carrey spoke at a graduation this past week, and he talked about his father, who he said was a brilliant comedian, better than Jim Carrey, just a brilliant man, great timing, hilarious. And he, rather than taking a chance on going into show business, did the right thing. And he became an accountant. He took the safe route. He got the job, he got the pension, he got the security, and he took that road, and he raised his family, and he was laid off. And the family struggled and struggled and struggled for years. And Jim Carrey said this, he said, "I learned a great many lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at something you don't want. So you might as well take a chance on doing something you love." So let's go back to the original premise, which is money and security. Money will keep us safe. And that's a myth. I feel like Mythbusters. And it's been busted. It is a myth. We can strive and we can struggle and we can save and we can try to protect ourselves all we want, and we still get the experience that we get. So living the life has to be more than an endless pursuit of cash. Living the life has to be more meaningful to us than the relentless pursuit of money. And what it means to live is to be our authentic self. We have to do what we're here to do. And what is that? That's the mystery. That's the one that you have to find out yourself. You are here to do exactly what you're here to do, uniquely what you are here to do. You are here to live the divine nature as you. Ernest Holmes said, "We must remove the barriers that keep life from flowing through us. We cannot put life there, for while we're co-partners with it, we are not creators of it. We are the beneficiaries of life, not its cause. We live because life lives. We take life out, we do not put it in." Each one of us are different, and we're different for a reason. We are here to do the individualized work of spirit in form as us. We are here to be the best we can be. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying. We are here to be our authentic self, to find out what that is. We are all little private eyes in our own lives, trying to find out our authentic self, who that is, what that is, and then to live from that authenticity. I am the only me that I can be. And I have to live that to the degree that I can live it, the way I was meant to live it. I can only do me. I can't do anybody else, and I have to do it the best I can. Deal with that. You know, you are here to be the best you can, the most authentic you can, the truest you that you can be in the world. You are meant to do that, so deal with that. Each of us was made manifest to give glory to God that created everything. We are here as an individualized expression to make manifest the glory of God in our form. Individually as us, as nobody else can do it. I promise you, I will not try to be more like you. And you need to promise not to be more like anybody else. Not to be more like me, or not to be more like another person, or not to be more like someone you admire, or not to be more like your dad, or not to be more like your siblings. just must promise yourself not to be more like anybody else, but that you must be true to yourself. Nobody, least of all Spirit, wants you to be a pale imitation of somebody else. Spirit wants you to be authentically you in all that means, in all of the glory, and all of the strengths, and all of the weaknesses, and all of the perfect imperfections we talked about. Spirit wants you to be fully, completely you, authentically you. You want to live the life? That's what that means. It means being the authentic you in every situation possible. We are spirits. We are spirits. We're temporarily housed in a body. The body's not you. The body's the vehicle that you're getting around in, very much like my Ford Windstar. That's all it is. It's a vehicle to get around in. You are the spirit within. You are the soul experiencing. We are spirit in divine outpicturing as individuals. Living the large life. Well, we should be living large. We maybe not living large, but you should be. We should be. And maybe we're not doing that. And maybe if we're not doing that, if we're not living that big and wild and juicy and outrageous life of spirit and form, maybe we need to start making steps in that direction. Maybe there's things that we can do to enlarge that idea of who we are in form so that we can live that large and wonderful and outrageous and juicy life of spirits that Spirit desires for us to live. Desires. The truth is we are Spirit made manifest. We have within us everything that we need to live that large and juicy and authentic life of Spirit. We have all of those qualities of God within us, expressing through us into the world to the degree that we allow it. That we allow it. So do you know what that means? That means that Spirit is limitless abundance, and we let it flow out of us and into our experience as much as we believe we can have. We don't get the life we want. We get the life we think we deserve. And so we let a little bit of abundance through and into our experience. Or we let a lot. It doesn't matter. Nobody's judging it. All of the qualities are within us. We have limitless abundance. The more we express out in the world, the more we demonstrate, the more we have because it's limitless. Same goes for beauty. How much inner beauty do you have? How much are you willing to let out? How much are you willing to gift the world with? Because the more you let out, the more you demonstrate, the more you let everybody know of your beauty, the more you have to give. That's the whole limitless quality thing. The more you use of it, the more you demonstrate it in the world, the more you have to flow through you. Same goes for balance. Same goes for freedom and order and peace and power and all the other qualities. The more of them that you let out into the world and demonstrate, the more you have. The more you have. It is within us to be let out. All of the qualities of God are qualities of us because we are spirit in form. We are representing. West Coast. Whatever. We are representing spirit in form. We have come here as representations of the divine in form. So how well are you representing? We are the arms and the ears and the eyes and the feet and the hands of Spirit. We're it. We are the only way that Spirit demonstrates its power and its presence, its love and its joy in form. We're it. So how well are you representing that? You know, the idea that we are God in hiding. That's the truth of us. We may look like mere humans, but we are God in form. You know all those stories about Hercules and Odysseus, you know, those wonderful myths, right? They were, oh my God, they were offspring of the gods. They're our stories. They're the stories about us. That's who we are. And what about those stories? They were gods, but they were in human form, but they had special powers. And they were what? They were always trying to find their way home. And that's what we're doing. We are gods in form, in an earthly existence, and we are finding our way home. We're finding our home. And you remember those stories where they went sailing, right? They had their island that they were awakened on. That's our island of experience. That's our life. And then they went on challenges and they went on adventures. I love that word. It's instead of problems. They had adventures like we do. And they sailed right from island to island. And some of those islands were not very nice, I remember. Some of them had big old monsters on them that wanted to eat them whole. And some of them were just awful. And isn't that our life, right? We sail to one island. We sail to the island of unemployment, you know. We sail to the island of getting dumped. I mean, think about it. We do the same thing in our lives. We sail from island to island, and we gain those experiences. We live through them. We realize we're stronger, and we're smarter, and we're braver, and we're more courageous than we ever thought we would be because we live through it, don't we? And we're making our way back to our island. We're making our way back home. It's a great drama. It's a great drama, and it's a great adventure, and in the end, we do make it. You know, it does have a happy ending. We all make it in the end. And you know, one of the things I was thinking about, too, is we were talking about, we always do an ideal scene workshop in foundations class, and I thought, that's a wonderful thing to do. We should really do that every year. The whole entire church should do an ideal scene workshop, you know, and put that ideal scene up. You know what I'm talking about, right? The vision boarding, the ideal scene of all your favorite things that you're just all juiced about. But I thought, you know, we're missing a little part of it because we need to have the island of experience, you know, where we're living right now. We need to have a board that looks like our life right now with all of the challenges and all of the struggles and everything, and we need to maybe put it on a big piece of paper and draw those islands in between where we're going so that we can see the advances we make. We can see the travels we take. We can see the things that we conquer. And so we should put all those islands in between because it is a process. You know, we just don't wake up one morning and have that ideal scene board fulfilled. It's sort of, we get lost in the fantasy of that with no practical means of getting there. So maybe we need to put all those other islands there so we can sail from one to the other and take those little penguin steps and move forward so that we can find a way through the challenges, through those islands. And then we do wind up getting to that vision board because we've had a practical way to do it. That's the deal. Seneca said this. He said, if one does not know which port one is sailing, no wind is a favorable wind. If we do not know what port we are setting to, no wind is a favorable wind. So let's be clear about what we want. Let's be clear about our desires. Let's be clear about the vision board, but let's be clear about where we are. You know those maps in the elevator, you know, the you are here ones? We need to know where we are in order to know where we need to get to because that's how we get there. We need a really clear idea. And here's a big fat hint for you. It's not about getting stuff. It's not about getting stuff. I know I said in the beginning of this talk about living large, right, and living the life, but it's not about stuff. How to be a millionaire, how to think and grow rich, how to decorate your walls with 24 karat gold. It's not about that. What happens when we manifest the stuff that we want? And we're not really that happy. I mean, we're happy for a couple of minutes, right? Then there's still something else. What happens when we get that new car and we get in there and we got that new car smell and it's wonderful and it's fabulous? Yeah, you know, and then after a while, what? There's something else. There's something else because it just doesn't get it. What happens when we get the guy or girl of our dreams we beat and we capture and we fall in love with and we commit to Mr. Right, or at least Mr. Right now? What happens when we get there? Then we worry about losing that person. We find out the stuff is not about the stuff. We find out that our journey and our travel is not about the stuff. It never was. It never was. Living the life is about demonstrating those qualities of God within us and shining them out through us, being the manifestation of the divine life of God in form, uniquely as we are and like no other person on earth can do it. Ernest Holmes said this. He said, "You do not have to beseech life to be good or to bring good into your life. Life is like the sun. It shines on everything. Get out of your shadow. Crawl out of your basement. Open the windows of your mind. Open the door to your soul. Lift up your thought and let life be to you whatever you wish it to be." Whatever you wish it to be. We are here to demonstrate beauty. We are here to demonstrate all of the qualities of God. We are here to make peace happen, uniquely our own way, however it is for you. We are here to express our wisdom as only each one of us can, because we each have a different slant on it, a different truth on it. To express it individually as each one of us, we are following our bliss, or at least we should be. That's what we're here to do what we love, to live that whole life of spirit and form like nobody else can. We are here to live the authentic life as we were put here to do. You were put together by the divine who knows you more than you know yourself, probably, and knows the bigness of you, the grandeur of you. It knows all of you. It knows what you want. You don't have to be busy affirmatively praying for the job in the corner office with the purple carpet in this company and that company. Don't you think that Spirit knows what it is that is on your heart? The desire that is on your heart, Spirit already knows because it put it there. It knows. It knows that fulfillment, that bliss. It knows what makes you happier than anything else in the world, so you pray that. You pray, let me be that in the world. Let me be that love, that wisdom, that joy. Let me be that. Let me find an outlet. Let me serve the world by being that. And don't worry about the details. Spirit knows the details. You think a God that can hang the planets in their orbits doesn't know what you want to do for a living? I mean, think about it. Matthew 6:33 said, "But seek ye first the kingdom of God and its righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you." All these things shall be added to you. Be the thing you were meant to be in life. Be that authentic you were meant to be. All these other things are added. If you're busy living your authenticity and being your big self, all these other things are added unto you. It all comes out in the end. We all make it home. We live life every day, and each and every day that we remember who we are, we demonstrate from our fullness. Ernest Holmes said this: life is not just something to be endured. It is to be lived in joy, in a fullness without limit. We must get rid of the old morbid theological concepts. I place no value on anything unless it brings gladness, love, friendship, the ability to laugh, and it makes me feel that every person I meet, if I knew him, I would love him. He is as good as I am. He has the same heart, the same blood, the same divinity. That's what we're here to do. We're here to live from our authentic self and know that for each one of us, and know that for each other when we have temporarily forgotten. Thank you so much.